Hey, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Officer Hagel, Marysville Police Department. Okay, just a little thing about your plate. Dog, your plate back here is about to fall off.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I gotta get back home and take it
I got you. Where's
back
home at?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. What brings you up this way?
This is my parents in McMinnville.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got you. All right, then. You got your ID on you?
Yes, sir.
You got fly up here?
Oh, sorry. No,
Yeah.
we drove. We drove.
Oh, is that just old luggage then?
Yeah. What's that? No,
The old-
that's our luggage. That's luggage we brought with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just the old flight tag then?
Oh yeah. She keeps her flight tags on her bag. Probably got some from Disney World on
From
there.
Disney
somewhere.
World, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Who is this to you?
Oh, that's my daughter.
Your daughter.
Bella.
All right. Cool. You got insurance on the car?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you grab that for me and the registration, please?
Somewhere. I don't even know where the interest rate secret's in there. Man, this is maybe an old card,
An
but
old card. Okay.
it's,
How old is old? You know what I mean?
it's the same company, same what does it say on there? Car's not that old, so
Yeah. Gotcha.
where's the other one there, Bell? See what I think that is.
Yep, that's good. That'll work.
Okay.
Nope, I lied, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
It's February.
It's same insurance company.
Yeah.
My wife hands me those, and
Here's the oldest one back. How are the one at least not in English, but how long you guys been up here?
we've been since Sunday.
Sunday.
That week. We left. No, actually, we left Monday last week and got here on Tuesday. Yeah,
Okay. How long of a drive is that?
it's about 800 miles.
800
It
miles.
depends on which way you go.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a pretty bad idea to answer questions like this whenever you're detained in a traffic stop, mostly because you have no idea what exactly the officer is investigating. And I know that the cop said that he's only here for the tag, but that's just what he's telling this guy. That may not necessarily be the actual pretext for the stop. And these questions that he's answering right now, even though they seem innocent, could very well become incriminating at some point in the future if there does happen to be another crime present here.
You go through Louisiana, it's a little. I think it's actually longer that way, but it's faster.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No guns, bombs, grenades in the car, nothing like that.
Yeah, I have a shotgun in the back, but it doesn't have anything in it.
In the back?
I'm bringing it back from my parents' house.
Yeah. In the trunk or in the backpack?
In the trunk. In
Okay.
the trunk, yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, it's just an old school one or something.
Yeah, it's when I had when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
My parents bought me like 18 years old when they bought it.
Yeah. What kind is it?
It's a 20 gauge. It's we looked it up before. It's a Harrington and Richardson.
Okay. I got you.
It's a little sheep gun that
Yeah.
my dad bought me.
I got you. How long have you lived in Texas?
I've lived in Texas since 2012.
Oh, why'd you move out?
We were in Los Angeles, and my wife got a job in. When she moved out here, she was pharmaceutical, and she had this half the country, everything from Texas
Yeah.
east.
Oh, okay. I got you. How'd you guys, now, your life story seems kind of wild. How'd you end up in LA?
I met my wife on a cruise
Oh, yeah.
in 2006.
Oh, nice.
Went on a cruise April 2006, and we
Was it a booze cruise and just kind of,
it was a singles cruise.
Yeah.
Singles cruise, and we met and talked on the phone and been married in 2007.
I got you. All right, man.
May of 2007.
All right, man. Hey, look, most I'm going to do is going to write you out a warning ticket, okay? It's not no court date, no court fines or nothing like that, okay? My intention's not out here to write out tickets, man, but to make people aware of what's going on, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell her to put her seatbelt on when we're riding, too.
I think it's important to point out that this cop just said he's essentially clarified the mission of his traffic stop right now, as far as we know anyway. Now, of course, we don't know if there's some other crime that he's investigating on top of the tag violation, but he just said, I'm just going to issue you a warrant, not write you a ticket. So I think that that's going to come into play later on in this interaction.
So, obviously, 554110, right? You got to be securely fastened.
Yep.
They're coming from McMinnville. Drove here from Texas. They've got luggage with flight tags on it in the back, and that they brought only one little suitcase with them to be there for a week at his parents' house.
Huh. Interesting.
And now they're going to go driving back, but not today. And they're coming out to Murfreesboro for something.
So now what I was saying earlier kind of comes a little bit full circle here, because the part that I didn't mention about answering these innocent questions is that they can also be used to build a narrative for other suspicion or other crimes. Now you can see this cop reiterating all the innocent things that he noticed and characterizing them as what would be tantamount to reasonable suspicion of potential drug trafficking or something to that effect. This just goes to show that these innocent questions that cops ask, and when they want to know your life story, there's usually some intentionality behind that, and it tends to be a calculated line of questioning, not just small talk.
You didn't say what, huh?
So, and his quote unquote daughter in the passenger seat was, the whole time I was behind her, like got up in her seat to look around and look behind us. And so, and his wife's name is Tina. And unless that daughter is adopted or Tina is Hispanic, that girl in there looks really Hispanic.
Running her around.
Maybe. I don't know. So and he's just like all over the place, giving out a bunch of information. Says he's got a shotgun in the trunk. So that his parents, something from his parents from. A little bit of nervousness there.
I think the way that this cop is rationalizing this right now is a testament to the mentality of cop culture in a lot of ways. We just all watched the same interaction, and the cop walked away from that with so much suspicion, whereas I feel like any reasonable person in this cop's shoes would have walked away from this encounter thinking, let's just issue a warning and get this out of here. I just fail to see all of this coming together as one conglomerate of legitimate suspicion.
Nothing in plain view. It's the car pretty clean.
And I mean, the car's got like junk in it, like
New pending incident.
it's got like a pillow. It looks like it's got like a blanket. But what's throwing me off is that I asked him about flying up here, and he goes no. And then I was like, okay, then what's up with the tags with the luggage on it, or the luggage with the tags on it? He goes, oh yeah, that's our luggage that we brought up here with us. Now, if you go up there and look, you can see that it's just one little suitcase for two people. Now, he might have something in the trunk, but I was like, oh, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, she might have something on it, it says from Disney World. But just a lot of stuff. It's kind of making me interested about it.
So first of all, I guess this cop has never flown on more than one flight. I have luggage right now that still has flight tags on it. And I don't fly a lot, but I've flown enough and used the same luggage enough and not taken the tags off, this is common. Anybody who travels more than once in their life would probably end up with a tag that they just left on there. Not to mention the fact that it's just it's sort of a memento to that trip in a lot of ways. I've seen people that have tons of tags on their bags, and collect them. And also, he's drawing this suspicion largely from what he doesn't know versus what he does know. So he's saying that it's suspicious that they only have one bag for two people taking a trip, but he hasn't done anything else to verify the legitimacy of that suspicion for there being one bag. He even said himself there could be another bag in the trunk, which is almost certainly the case. That is the most logical conclusion to draw here, is that her small suitcase didn't fit in the trunk with the bigger suitcases. Now, I haven't watched this video. I don't know if that's where we're going here, but again, I just think that he's really grasping at straws to get some kind of legitimate suspicion here, and I just don't see it.
Especially when she got up and turned around and looked at us.
Yeah, exactly.
And then immediate, like on the road, like we're going down MLK, stopped immediately and then pulled off into the center turn lane.
New pending incident.
I don't know why people do that.
So I might try to push it a little bit and see what we got.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
See what's happening with it real quick.
Cool.
All right. As long as you're down for it, I'm down for it.
Always.
Hey, Cameron. Hey, come back here with me real quick.
Sorry.
Hey, how old?
Yes, sir.
How old is your daughter?
14.
14. Okay. First time being up in Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay.
My daughter, no, she's been here several times.
Oh, okay. I got it. This is the first time back in how long?
Years.
A year. Okay. You come up here yearly? No.
I just want to say that we can see this tag now, and I think that the stop is definitely lawful thus far based on this infraction. The narrative building and what the cop is about to do may or may not be legal, but up to this point, we can see for ourselves that that was a legitimate reason to conduct a traffic stop, and everything seems lawful thus far.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, the plate's kind of dangling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we gotta do. Okay. And where is it? Katy? Is that where you live at? Katy, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Where's that at compared to Houston? 'Cause I see the Houston stuff. On the car, like, is that far from Houston, or is that?
No.
No. I don't know, dude. I don't know shit about Texas. Okay, like, I've never been down there. Also, he's got probably one of the most unique ways of spelling the last name, like Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so, part of what me and also Barbie up there do, okay, we look for guns, drugs, lobster. Okay, we're not out here doing, traffic enforcement for our health. You said you got that old shotgun in there. Okay. Any other weapons in that vehicle? No. No drugs. No. $15,000 worth of,
I got 100, less than probably $200.
Okay.
If a cop ever asks you if you have a large amount of cash on you, and you do, you're not required to forfeit that information, and it would almost certainly be wise not to, because you're essentially giving them a license to take that money from you through civil asset forfeiture in some way, shape, or form. I don't mean that in a literal sense, but we've seen countless times where people have had their money taken from the cops when there was literally no legitimate reason for them to do it. Civil asset forfeiture is one of the most broadly overreaching concepts in governance, period. And it can certainly be used maliciously in a traffic stop. So again, you don't have to volunteer information to police officers, and I specifically wouldn't volunteer information about how much cash I have on me at any time.
No problem. You ever been in trouble before? Recently? No. No probation, parole?
I had a ticket in years.
Yeah, you're not wanted for murder out of California or something like that? No. Okay. Would you have an issue with me searching your car?
I would, but you can. I mean,
that's what, look, it's going to be a yes or no question, okay?
Okay.
If you don't want me to, cool. If not, or if you do, cool. And we'll get you out of here. That's not going to change my decision on doing anything anyways. I told you from the beginning it's going to be a warning ticket, right? I'm not going to get my feelings hurt and write you out a real ticket because you denied me consent to search your car.
I mean,
Okay, you just heard that for yourself. No retaliation's going to happen if you say no. That's totally cool. I don't mind you saying no. You can say yes or no. This is a consensual question. All right? You heard that for yourself. Now, again, I haven't seen this video, but in my experience, whenever they give you this whole spiel about, yes, you can say no if you want to, I'm not going to retaliate, they retaliate. So it'll be interesting to see if he follows up on that promise, or if that's enough to convince this guy to give consent. And just to add some perspective to this, if I were in the guy's shoes being stopped, I would continue to deny consent. You know, there's no case that an officer can make to me, and should be able to make to anyone else, for you to give consent to search your vehicle. I can't think of a single scenario where that would be the most prudent thing for you to do. No matter what spiel they give you, no matter what they say, we can do this the easy way, the hard way, blah, blah, blah. Never give your consent to search your vehicle. You don't have to do that, and you should never do that.
I don't see there's a good reason to, so I would say if you tell me you got a reason to, or a valid reason, I'll say yes, but otherwise no.
Okay, look, all I'm saying is it's just me and him will work together a while. We work this area all the time. You know, we work off of John Bragg. We know what comes out of, you know, out that way, right? You know, there's a lot of mad stuff.
Because I'm from out of town.
No, it's not having to do anything with that, okay? I mean, that adds to my little bit of, like, suspicions and stuff,
yes,
but, like, I've got a whole checklist of things that I look for, okay? That just happened to be the violation, okay?
Yeah. You want me to tell you how that happened?
Yeah, tell me how that happened.
I'll tell you exactly how that happened. When it's a new car.
Yeah, new car.
Okay. So I'm putting the thing back in. I don't know what was wrong with the screw. I don't know if it's something in the manufacturing or what. It just broke off.
Yeah.
When
It looks like it got sheared off, and like maybe it got
wasn't
rusty.
sheared. No, it just sheared. It just broke off when I was putting it with a electric drill, and it just popped off.
I mean, I got to cut costs somewhere. You know what I mean? So they probably don't use the best.
Yeah, it was. I got at home. I got some drills I can bore it back out with, but I just. It wasn't dropping down for a long time, but by the time I got on the road to come here, I'm like, that thing's dropping down, but I don't have the tools.
Right, no, I got you. You know, Mom and Dad didn't have something to poke it up there with.
No, I'm afraid I'm gonna start with a small bit, and loosen it first, so I can just kind of go up, size it up a little bit.
Okay, I got you.
All right, I just want to do some translation for anyone who's not from the South and may have had a little bit of difficulty understanding what that guy just said. What he said was, when he went to put the screw in for the tag, it sheared off inside the threads of the hole that you would use to mount the tag. You know, in a job like that, if anyone has ever encountered a screw that gets sheared off into the threads, it is a bitch of a process to get a screw out of the threads, especially, you know, when it has no head on it. So you need to be in a place where you have tools and time and the right resources to be able to extract that screw. But it's not as simple as just getting it, unscrewing it, and screwing it back in. So I can see why he wouldn't have been able to tackle this issue until he got back to his house. So I imagine this guy was probably expecting to be pulled over at some point because of this. But yeah, it is what it is. This is not a simple fix. So
I can break it off in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, okay. Well, so like I said, man, it's not gonna change my mind about whether to write you a warning ticket or not. Okay, I'm not a big ticket writer. I don't want to write you a ticket that you're not going to show up for, right? If you got to go back to Texas.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It'll be something that you could pay over the phone, but I feel like you've got a long drive ahead of you, and $160 city tickets you got to worry about back here in Murfreesboro. It's not something you should be worried about.
Yeah.
When are you going back?
I'm headed back right now.
You're heading back right now?
Headed back right now.
All right. What time you just gonna hopefully beat all the traffic and everything?
Well, we're gonna stop at Little Rock. If it was just me by myself, I would drive all the way. But
what's that? I'm sorry.
I said if it were just me by myself, I'd drive all the way.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stop at Little Rock because.
All right, man. Well, hey, do me a favor, okay? Because I don't know. Like you say, you don't got no more guns, but I don't know. Or we're just gonna.
I'll pop the trunk for you.
No, let's not do that, okay? Just hang out right here. I'm gonna get you started on that warning ticket, okay?
Okay.
all right, so as this traffic stop continued, this guy actually admitted that he is prescribed an amphetamine, and I'm assuming, but we don't have the footage of this part. It has an abrupt cut. I'm assuming that that prompted the officer to alert a canine unit. We'll talk about the implications of that in a minute, but I just want to catch you up to speed that at this point in the encounter, a dog has alerted to the vehicle, and this was all in the process of him being written a warning ticket for the tag violation.
But what was your suspicion based on? What was your suspicion made based on that you searched my car?
Well, the dog hit on the car.
No, I mean, the reason you called the dog when I told you couldn't search.
Oh, because here's the deal. So we have that right to do that, right? We have to have reasonable articulable suspicion, and I have that, right? From and it might have just been the fact that she was mistaken. Right? We had, from what I could see in the vehicle at the time, right, with little bag, right? For a two-person team to be up here, or two-person units to be up here, one little bag like that for a whole week's worth of stuff, doesn't make sense to me. But when we see trafficking, when we see drug trafficking here, okay, that's typically the MO. They'll fly up here, get a car, rent a car. So I didn't run your tag until I already got you stopped, right? So for all I know, that's a rental car. What they'll do is they'll fly up here, they'll rent a car, and then drive it back to their home place, right? Okay, and they'll use kids too. They will, like, oh, I'm just traveling with my daughter or son or my cousin or my nephew or whatever. We're taking them back home. Okay, we see that a lot. Yeah, we have all those. Okay, and then you're telling me when you got in and when that you're going home, right? You got in Sunday. Like I said, that you were speaking, right? So I'm thinking yesterday, and now you're going home. Raise my flags up a little bit. I got you Monday. Yeah. And then you said, "Oh, we left Monday and got in Tuesday." Okay, so the fact that you might have misspoke makes me think that your story isn't, cohesive with everybody else going on. Okay. Well, look, I get you. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. You asked for my suspicions. That was my suspicions. Okay. And based off my training and experience and the stuff that I have seen and done here at this police department, a lot of it fits them all. Okay. It's nothing, right? I'm making sure that there's nothing. Okay? That's my whole thing. That's my whole reason why I'm on a specialized unit. That's why I have a stripe, because I, taught myself pretty well, and now they trust me to teach other people. I have enough skill set to realize that something's not right. Okay? And all we need for the United States Supreme Court is reasonable suspicion.
Here's where the Rodriguez case kind of comes into the picture. Because officers cannot prolong a traffic stop in order to bring a canine unit to the scene. And the whole point of this stop was to issue a warning. So I find it highly questionable that during his issuance of a warning, which, granted, we can't put a specific time frame around how long it takes to issue a warning, but it seems reasonable that it would be accomplished within a few minutes. In the jump in footage, we lose about 30 minutes of time. So there has been 30 minutes of time pass between him getting through this traffic stop and intending to issue a warning to the point of a canine unit arriving on the scene and conducting an open air sniff. Another aspect of this that I think is important to understand before I get into the reasonable suspicion of this is that open air dog sniffs are not technically a search. The area around your vehicle is public, right? You're in public when you're stopped in a traffic stop. An officer is not going anywhere he can't go by just circling your vehicle with a dog. So I think it's important for people to realize that just having a dog circle your vehicle, it doesn't even constitute a search, much less a Fourth Amendment violation of any kind. And now I would like to talk about this officer's reasonable suspicion. As you all know, and we've talked about many times on this channel, reasonable suspicion can be built from a set of innocent facts that ultimately suggest some kind of criminal activity. Now, going back, I wrote down right here what this officer said was his reasonable suspicion. The small bag for two people, which He still hasn't confirmed whether or not there's actually more luggage in the trunk. The supposed furtive movements of the daughter, who was looking around when they got stopped during the traffic stop, which I think is totally normal behavior, especially for a teenager. The cop said that he suspected that the car may have been rented, but as soon as he ran the license plate, I'm sure he figured out that the car was not rented. So I don't know why that's even a factor. The car is not rented. It's irrelevant. The cop also mentioned that that traffickers typically use kids as cover. That could be a legitimate factor, but I don't think that your passenger is a direct suggestion of the legality of your conduct. You would need to build more factors than this. You would need a criminal element here. Also, another thing that the cop said was that the cop asked the guy, "When did you get here?" And the guy said Sunday. And the cop thought he meant the Sunday as in yesterday, but what the guy meant was the Sunday prior to the one that just came. This guy's obviously traveling. Keeping up with days is a little more difficult when you're out and about doing things on vacation. Honestly, this just boils down to the officer mishearing what the guy was trying to say. You know, if you combine all these factors together, they all have very articulable, clearly reasonable explanations that are innocent in nature. And I think when you combine them all together, you still don't get to the point of there being criminal elements involved in any of this conduct. So I think that it would, again, be a big stretch for this officer to come to the conclusion that he has reasonable suspicion of drug trafficking based on these factors alone. Now, that doesn't negate his ability to call a dog to the scene, but it does draw into question the integrity of this investigation as a whole.
Right.
So I understand all that, and
The dog probably hit on what kind of amphetamine you got at prescription. You know what I
I
mean?
told you about that.
Yeah. So that's probably what the dog hit on, because the dog's trained on methamphetamine, right? Amphetamine is amphetamine no matter how you slice it. Okay. You can cut it depending on what you're cutting it with and everything, all that other stuff. It's still amphetamine. Okay. Just like Adderall, it's just basically meth.
And you said, man, with ADHD, this spoke, as you said.
Yeah. And that, and that could happen, right? But all I know is that I don't know you from anybody. Okay. I don't know her from anybody. Right. For all I know, you're the kingpin down in Katy, Texas.
You know,
what I mean?
I'm from out of town.
No, that's part of it. That's not all of it. That's part of it. Okay, we see tags from Ohio, we see tags from Vermont, we see tags from all this other stuff. California, we see it all.
A lot of California tags out here.
Right, and they're all rentals. 90% of them are rentals. Okay. And we see a lot of drug trafficking too. Right? You can look it up just not too long ago, a couple months ago, that I was a part of an event where we pulled 20 kilos of methamphetamine out of a car.
If I got insurance on the cars, it wouldn't be. If I got an insurance card, it wouldn't be around.
What? Right. I don't know that until I'm already up. Right. I'm already talking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't.
This all happened.
I saw you.
I fucking hate it when cops say that, because they're basically admitting to the notion that they will suspect that you're a criminal before they will suspect that you're just an innocent citizen. Saying, "I don't know you from anybody, so you could be a criminal," that's illogical, because I don't know you from anyone also means that you could equally just be an innocent citizen. Not knowing someone is not a factor in the legality of their conduct, okay? And that excuse is meaningless. It doesn't say anything. It's just bullshit words. That's all it is.
Well, I saw you coming down John Bragg.
But those guys didn't get called in to pull out
because I had all this, right?
Because I told you you couldn't search my car.
Right. Because I asked for consent first. But I still had my reasonable suspicion to call for the dog if I needed.
But when you called for the dog, you didn't have a reasonable suspicion anymore because you had my...
For a rental, no. Not for a rental, no. But there's other indicators.
This cop really wants us to believe that he didn't run that tag before he conducted this traffic stop. That is nonsense. He definitely knew that this was not a rental before he even conducted this stop. I'm calling bullshit on that. See, he's messing up here. I highly doubt that these factors he laid out here would give him reasonable suspicion to suspect that drug activity was afoot. And the thing about it is that he could have called the dog to the scene and got the alert anyway without having the need to develop this nonsense narrative of a reasonable suspicion. If he had just gotten in his patrol car, called for a canine unit immediately, and then started writing the ticket, he can do that as slow as he wants, and a canine unit would have arrived before he finished the warning, and they could have done the open air sniff and got the alert, and then they would have had probable cause, which is what they actually have now, not just reasonable suspicion. They don't need to rely on reasonable suspicion now that they have probable cause from a dog alert. If he had just done that, there wouldn't even be a question about whether or not this is a legitimate search. But the fact that he's hinging this on this bullshit reasonable suspicion narrative that he developed out of thin air, it draws this into question and opens it up to scrutiny. There was such a way more efficient way of, getting to the dog alert than this. And it's kind of ridiculous that this cop is so dumb and ill-informed that he went out of his way to do extra work for something that he could have accomplished anyway without the lies and the nonsense.
And his wife's name is Tina. And unless that daughter is adopted or Tina is Hispanic, that girl in there looks really Hispanic.
Running her around.
Maybe. I don't know. So we're going to...
So the video abruptly ends there. I don't know what happened beyond that, except for the fact that they definitely did let him go. Or at least that was what was reported. I think the biggest takeaway from this interaction is, if you notice, that almost every part of this that was bad was perpetrated through this guy giving innocent replies to what he perceived as innocent questions. The whole line of questioning at the very beginning of this stop is what led to them getting a dog on the scene and doing all of this extra bullshit that they didn't have to do. No matter what a cop is asking you, no matter what they're saying to you in any context, there is almost no situation where answering questions to them is going to be beneficial to you. Now, I also preach all the time that dispelling an officer's suspicion can be beneficial. And as I've said many times, it's a fine line to walk between invoking your right to silence and proving your innocence on the scene. But if you have to defer to one or the other, silence is always going to be the better option. It's going to feel natural to want to engage in a dialogue and build a positive rapport with an officer, particularly during a traffic stop where they have so much discretionary power to exercise. But you have to resist that urge and understand the context that you're in. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Don't talk to cops. Don't talk to cops because it leads to things like this.